Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failer. In our last video, we tackled the Ray mission Plaster Blaster. Up next is the only mission available to us at this moment, and it's from a brand new boss. This is going to be the first Donald Love mission, and it is called Liberator. This is the first of 7 Donald Love missions, including a cutscene only mission, which makes him the mission giver with the second most missions given in this entire game, behind Asuka, who will eventually give us a total of 9 missions. So this is the first of 7 from Donald Love. I'm going to point something out in this cutscene, which we're about to watch here, and that's that Donald Love is going to thank us for dealing with a personal matter, which is weird because we haven't met this guy yet. But I'll remind you of something that Ray said in the opening cutscene to the mission Evidence Dash. He said, I know a real important man in town, a soft touch with, shall we say, exotic tastes and the money to indulge them. He's involved in a legal matter, and the prosecution has some rather embarrassing photos of him at a morgue party or something. So we just saw Donald thank us, and the person Ray was describing in that cutscene to the mission Evidence Dash was Donald Love. So Donald Love is thanking us for getting rid of the evidence of him doing embarrassing things at whatever the heck a morgue party is. I do not want to know. Okay, minor detail. The um, clip that I'm showing here, where I recorded the cutscene, is different from the first clip I'm going to show you right after the cutscene. So if it looks like there's a weird cut jump between the cutscene and the next part of this video, it's because there was. But that is behind us now, and we proceed with our vanilla attempt at this mission. First, again, the mission is called Liberator, and we'll just define that word. So to liberate means to free, and so a liberator is someone who frees someone or something else. And so in this mission, we are liberating, we are the liberator of the old Oriental gentleman. We are the freer of the old Oriental gentleman. And just a quick note, I think it's not PC to call someone Oriental these days, but I'm just going to use that word in this video because it's the word the game uses for this specific mission. So first I want to show you that behind this gate, first of all, we can't get in unless we're it won't open for us unless we're in a cartel cruiser. I'm going to hop the gate and show you that there's nothing going on inside, but once we get into a cartel cruiser, that will spawn a whole bunch of Colombians inside of this area, and it will also make it so that the garage doors that I'm about to walk next to will open when I'm near them, but they're going to stay closed here. And also, there's going to be 2 fixed spawn cartel cruisers that will show up in this first area to my right here, that area there, and then another one coming up in front of us here to the right, that area there, the empty space. So nothing happening until we get into a cartel cruiser, and then that will spawn a whole bunch of activity in that area. Okay, the premise, as we saw Donald Love here, is to rescue the old Oriental gentleman. He's being held by the Colombian cartel. Passing this mission gives us 40,000 bucks, and it unlocks the next Donald Love mission, which is called Waka Kashira Wipeout. Okay, so you get into a cartel cruiser and it says rescue the old Oriental gentleman. Then it says, and let's say stop hanging around. Yeah, get a Colombian gang car and rescue something. So you have to be in a cruiser, and I just wanted to show you the message if you get in one and then back out. And I'll also point out that that this old Oriental gentleman is actually someone who was featured in the opening cutscene of the entire game. If you recall, uh, we were in a police convoy, like a police vehicle with, you can see all these guys right here have spawned. I still can't get in, even though I was in a Colombian cartel cruiser, and now the gate will open for me. And it's better for me to wipe these guys out with the M16, but I'll show you with the Uzi. So I'll take some more damage here, but this is, again, my vanilla attempt. But if you have the M16, it's better. Um, in the opening cutscene, we were being taken to jail or whatever inside of a police enforcer with 8-ball and with the old Oriental gentleman featured in this mission. And then the Colombians blew up the Callahan Bridge during that cutscene and destroyed the bridge and interrupted the police convoy. And so we were able to escape. But the whole point of what the cartel did in that opening cutscene was to abduct the old Oriental gentleman. And it just happened that we were able to get away as a result. So there he is. I'm just going to keep going around and showing you that there's Colombian cartel in a bunch of these garages. There's a cartel cruiser that wasn't there before. This garage will open and show us somebody. I don't think the next garage ever has anything in it. And then there's one more cartel cruiser right over here to my right that spawns in. There it is. And so we just have to get close enough to this guy to trigger him, take the old Oriental gentleman back to Donald Love's building. Easy. Yeah, so this is the first time we're seeing this guy from that we saw in the opening cutscene. If you go check it out again, you'll see that he was grabbed by the Colombian cartel and then taken off. They threw him into one of their vehicles and then brought him here, I guess. Okay. All right, so this is now a long, dull ride with no wanted stars heading back to Donald Love's building, where there's a blue mission ending marker right in the front. So that's pretty straightforward. In the next clip, it's going to start in after I've already killed all of the Colombian cartel members who are outside walking around, but I haven't killed any of the ones who were in garages. And I'm going to show you a strategy involving rockets that maybe is a lot safer for you to kill the Colombian cartel that are in garages, but you got to be careful where you aim because it's quite easy to also kill the old Oriental gentleman who's in the garage if you're not careful with the rockets. So here we go. Centered between the rockets and on the top horizontal line with the top of the garages. I'll do it one more time on the garages to my left here, but nobody alive in that one, and then nobody alive in that one. So again, centered between these garages, and I'll line up the center of my target with the top of the two garages. So hopefully that's clear. And if you do that, then you will kill any cartel member because they're standing closer to the front of the garage, but you will never kill your buddy. So that is my technique for using rockets, 1, 2, or 3 rockets at most. Of course, you could get rid of your bribe stars if you happen to have a wanted level. You can get rid of the bribe stars as you drive back to Donald Love's building. All right, next bit of science is to find out what happens if I abandon the old man. So here we go. So I've freed him, I've liberated him, and he's walking too slow for me, and I got things to do. So see ya, Grandpa. All right, I wanted to see how aggressively he would come after the truck, and it's not very, he was walking quite slow. You'd think he'd be a little more eager. All right, so I didn't get far away. Protection means just that, protect the old Oriental gentleman. Right, so it's a small radius you're supposed to be in. I drove all the way to the south of this island and didn't fail because I got too far. I wanted to see what would happen if the police shot the old man and killed him. I don't want to have any culpability in terms of being responsible for this guy's death. I didn't fire a single bullet. But the old Oriental gentleman's guts are all over the street. It's not my fault. Donald Love. Oh, that was awkward. That death pose with my new friend there. Okay, because we have somebody who is willing to follow us into any car, we could try some shenanigans with the crusher. So this is the trick where I want to make a crusher with no collision detection. So I held the look backward button and then got out, and then get back in, jump 10 feet up in the air. But then this is unfair. Look, I bounced and then got eaten by the crusher. How is this okay? Like instant death. Shenanigans. I call shenanigans. Okay, so this is a collision-free vehicle that I'm in now, this stallion. So I went back to the crusher, another attempt, and we got it to work. And instead of dropping the guy off at the blue marker, which is all the way out in the street, and making him walk here to the entryway, I figured I'd just bring him into the building. That's got to be better, right? So I don't know, maybe Donald Love could take some of his billions and hire an interior decorator. This is very dark. I think we could use some windows, maybe some paintings, like a chair perhaps. Yeah, not so much to see and do in here. And I don't even get credit for bringing the old Oriental gentleman in, like AA plus service for bringing him inside the building, but nothing. I get nothing. So we fall into blue hell. Sometimes when we've done this before with an NPC in the vehicle, it'll say, hey, you dropped your main man or whatever. Go pick him up, even though he's still in the vehicle. But in this case, it just repeats the message. Go back to Donald Love's. Okay, so here is my first attempt at my challenge. My challenge is to rescue the elderly gentleman without using any ammo. So pretty much just the vehicle. Maybe my fists and a bat, but that's probably dangerous. These guys have some powerful artillery, so powerful that they shredded my cartel cruiser pretty darn quick. Okay, so here is my final attempt at my challenge. Again, the no ammo mission pass challenge. And I will fast forward through some of the parts, but I'm not going to cut anything here. I'll just fast forward and then do regular speed when we get to the action. But you've seen this drive to the north to the compound before, so we can skip past that. And let me just read a tiny bit from the wiki. The same compound appears in GTA Liberty City Stories in the mission Shogun Showdown, which was once owned by the Yakuzas. So this concrete area that we're in was featured in Liberty City Stories mission. That's pretty cool. And also, this is the only time where cartel cruisers are parked inside that particular compound. All right, so let's talk a bit about our new mission giver, our new boss, Donald Love. So this is, again, the first of 7 missions that we're going to see from him, although one of them is just a cutscene mission, but it still counts as a mission in terms of the percentage completion. And here we are driving into the compound again, no ammo, and so I'm hoping to not take as many hits in my cartel cruiser as I did before, because this is pretty much my only weapon, I think. All right, so this is looking better. There's still one guy left here. Thought I got them all, but one guy left. And then we're going to nudge him, but I don't think he died that time. We got to bump him a little bit harder. Okay, all good. And then it's going to take me a while to get the old man out. I'm going to play like tag with one of these Colombian cartel members here. I thought the garage would open just because I was close to it, but not if you're in a vehicle. It only opens when you're out. Okay, so the guy wasn't in there, but the garage door stays open, and so I'm going to get harassed by this. There you go. Now, this explosion here is going to kill the Colombian who's in that garage, but it turns out the elderly gentleman is also in that garage. Unfortunately for me, the explosion didn't kill the elderly gentleman, so we got to make our way back in there. But again, I'm going to play tag with this other guy. Look, he got in a vehicle. He thought I was running away, and he got into the other cartel cruiser to come chase me. Well done. Okay, from the wiki, Donald Love is a character in the GTA series who appears as a main character in GTA 3, a minor character in Vice City, and the tritagonist of Liberty City Stories. So tritagonist is the third most important character behind protagonist and deuteragonist. And he is also mentioned in GTA Advance. So he really is doing the rounds here in the GTA games. That's pretty cool. Let's see. So in GTA 3, Donald Love is voiced by Kyle MacLachlan. I know this actor from Sex and the City. All right. So I think we're safe here. The other guy's behind us, and I think we're out of harm's way. We just have to get out of this compound here. And I decided that because we were totally safe, instead of taking the most direct path, just due south down to the Donald Love area, we said, hey, what if we try an alternate form of transportation? So we're going to fast forward and we will try to use some public transportation and see if the old man will follow me. Okay, so Kyle MacLachlan from the wiki says appeared in such shows as Twin Peaks, Desperate Housewives, Tales from the Crypt, Law and Order, SVU, Sex and the City, Late Night with Jimmy Fallon in Portlandia. He appeared in some movies, Flintstones, Route 9, and Free Jimmy. And it looks like this is his only voice work in the GTA universe. Cool. I kind of forgot. Like I kind of forgot. Like I think I knew that this was Kyle MacLachlan at some point, but I'd sort of forgotten it, and yeah, that's pretty neat. Okay, so as you can tell, I am taking the old man onto a subway and desperately hoping that he doesn't kill himself by trying to get onto the subway. We've seen that happen before. All right, so the big piece of suspense is, can this old guy navigate his way around this white pole? Because it's too full, and then he just walks into it, and I was like, come on, bud, the doors are going to close. I'll get a message scolding me if you don't get in soon. But I don't want to get out to look because then he'll get out. So because I didn't get the message, I couldn't see him in the subway, but because I didn't get the message, hey, you've dropped the old man or whatever, I assumed that he was on board. So we'll show it in regular speed here as we pull into the Portland station. So remember, this underground subway is a big old loop. It's got a stop in Staunton North, that's where we got on, and then it has a stop in Portland, that's where we are now, and then it's going to make its way back to Staunton, but this next stop is to Staunton South, where Staunton has 2 train stations, and then the final stop is over in Shoreside, over by the airport. And so we're going to get off at the next stop, and then bring our guy on foot over to the mission marker. You don't actually even need to be in a car to end this mission. Okay, reading a tiny bit more about Donald Love from the wiki. Let's see if my buddy is here. Where are you? Great, get away from the train. It's death. So from the wiki, this is the Vice City version of Donald Love. At some point prior to 1986, Love became the protege of real estate expert Avery Carrington from the Vice City game, often following him with a notepad and pen, including to one of Colonel Cortez's parties. And he once met Tommy Vercetti, who Avery was hiring to start a gang war between the Cubans and the Haitians. So Donald Love appeared in two missions in Vice City, but he didn't have a speaking role in either of them. Avery's willingness to use any method to bring down property prices would leave an impression on Love. Yeah, in fact, the next mission that we're going to do in this video series, Wakagashiro Wipeout, is about exactly that, doing anything necessary to bring down property prices as a real estate mogul. At some point between 1986 and 1998, Donald Love moved to Liberty City and established himself as a businessman, starting the Love Media Company, constructing a building at Bedford Point, that's where we're headed right here to this mission marker, and opening an import garage. From the wiki, Crazy Car Giveaway is a side mission in GTA Liberty City Stories. It involves protagonist Tony Cipriani collecting 16 vehicles and delivering them in mint condition to the garage of the Love Media building right here in Bedford Point. So the import-export garage isn't featured in this game, but it is featured in Liberty City Stories. Okay, so we will have more to read about Donald Love in future Donald Love mission videos, but this is Liberator completed. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.